If I had one piece of advice for any pre-med student or anyone thinking about going into medical school, it would be to try not to tell a lot of people. If you can, try not to tell anybody. I think what happens a lot of times is people get really excited about starting their journey, whether that's, scheduling their MCAT, studying for their MCAT, applying to med school, submitting their application. And I totally get why people share that. I mean, it's exciting. It's, the start of their medical career pretty much. And I think what happens a lot of times is not only do people share it with, their immediate family, for obvious reasons, if they need financial support for these exams or their applications, obviously they need to tell their parents. Or, you tell your parents and then your extended family knows, and then every time you show up to a family dinner, that's all you're getting asked about. How's your MCAT? How'd you do? When do you take it? And it can be so overwhelming, especially when you are in that process. If you are studying for your MCAT and your stress levels are way up here, and when you're not studying and you should be studying, but you go out to your family dinner and then you get reminded that you should be studying, it just puts an unnecessary amount of stress and pressure on you. When I studied for my MCAT, it was right when COVID hit, so unfortunately my test got moved, and I basically studied for about a year and a half altogether. Tell anybody about that. Thankfully, it was a little bit easier to kind of hide it, just because it was COVID and we were always, home. Obviously, my boyfriend at the time knew what I was doing because he was there, but I didn't tell my mom, I didn't tell my dad. I might have mentioned it to my sisters, but I was very quiet about it. Some of my friends were very open about where they were at as far as their application process or their MCAT, and I remember one of my friends telling me that he regretted telling so many people because he didn't do too well on his MCAT, and every time that he would see people out, that's all that people would ask him about. So I encourage anyone going through this process to try to just keep it to yourself if you can. If not, only tell the people that are closest to you that will be directly affected by your need to study and miss out on events. But otherwise, try not to tell everybody around you. Not only does it add so much pressure to an already very stressful